And the Check a Pro Radio Show starts now.
I'm taking what they're giving because I'm working for a living.
Do you feel that? You feel it? It's getting hot. Sticky. You know, it's sticky here a lot throughout the year, but it's worse in the summertime. We are entering nasty season. I know a lot of you love the heat and the humidity. And guess what? I've got some great news for you. You live in the right place. We have a lot of heat and humidity here in Houston, Texas. I'm Check a Pro Joe. Welcome to my radio show, the Check a Pro Radio Show. On today's show, we are featuring a pre-qualified home service provider, Koala Insulation. Tom, the Attic Fanatic, will be joining me shortly to talk with you and me about how to be more comfortable and save a whole lot of money. What's looking to be a hot summer. We had some nasty cold weather, and they say when it's cold, it's going to be hot. I'm expecting temperatures to be at least 81 degrees this summer. Wouldn't you agree, Tom, the Attic Fanatic?
Yeah, 81 degrees for the low.
At night.
Yes. Oh, I just wanted to have one little thing. You ever see that movie, was it Biloxi Blues?
I don't, yeah, that's an old movie.
Yeah, they go to Atlanta, and they're like, and I'm thinking, well, it's worse here. But anyways, they go to Atlanta, and they're like, I don't know if I can, it's the military, they get, they're drafted or whatever. I don't know if I can stay here. This is Africa. They're telling the drill instructor this. I can't stay here. It's just Africa hot. It's hot. It's like, oh yeah, that's what it is here every summer. And brutal. I said that 35 years ago when we moved here. I don't know if I can take it here. Houston it's just too hot. I'm originally from Ohio. We moved here when I was 7. And I told my dad, I don't think I can stay here. It's too hot. And then we've been here ever since.
I'm not originally from here. I'm like a lot of people who've been imported. And I'll tell you, the first summer, I said, what have I done?
Yes.
I mean, what have I done?
It's an attention grabber that first June or so. Yeah,
there's nothing
like, wow.
like it. When you're from north of here, there's nothing like it up there, ever. They complain about, Chicago's having a heat wave. New York's having a heat wave. Those heat waves, it's, even though it is hot there and it does kill people in Chicago and New York, it's a different heat. We're closer to the equator here. It's a baking hot, it just permeates out of the concrete, and it's humid. And it gets so hot here that the humidity sometimes is not a factor. When the humidity is 100%, but it's 100 degrees, the humidity is no longer as much of a factor as 80 degrees. You know that, right? Because it burns off.
Well, it dries up. Yeah, like in the afternoon sometimes it's hotter, but it's actually drier. Sometimes it feels a little bit better. It's still horrible, but it's not quite as bad as 9 in the morning. It can be really bad.
Oh, you go outside and it's like, gosh, I can tell it's going to be a hot day, but I know it's humid.
Right.
When the sweat's dripping off your shirt already.
Oh, yeah.
Got to change your shirt 3-4 times a day. And in your business, you guys are in attics. You're constantly having to do wardrobe changes.
Oh, yeah. My dad's like, it's a 3-shirt day, or I go home and tell my mom, it was a 4-shirt day. What does that mean? Well, that's how hot it was because you had to keep changing your shirts. You were sweating so much.
Yeah, you need that Axe body spray, right? You need to keep that in the truck with you.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't know. I don't sweat that much. Like, I only changed my shirt once, and I was doing all the work. But, I don't know. It's all relevant, I guess.
That's right. Let's talk about saving people money and adding comfort to themselves and for their home, and also saving money not just on their electricity bill, but long-term on their shingles, on their air conditioning system, and other things that get the wear and tear from that hot attic.
Right, exactly. Yeah, we do 2 things. Well, actually, we do more than 2 things, but at Koala Insulation, we do blown-in insulation. We do spray foam insulation, all types of different types of insulation, cellulose, denim. Then we also look at ventilation. So ventilation is a big part of our business. What we look at is the attic temperatures. And I always say it's all about attic temperatures. You've heard me say that before. What that means is the hotter your attic is, the more inefficient the house becomes. The cooler the attic is, or the closer to ambient temperature, the more efficient the house becomes. By lowering the attic temperature, your air conditioning is going to run less. So that's why you get more life out of the air conditioner. Kind of like miles on a car. I always like to say that. It's like the more miles are on a car, the less time it's going to last. So same thing with an attic. If your air conditioner is running 10 hours a day versus 20 hours a day, well, it's going to last twice as long because it just doesn't have that wear and tear. That's what's wearing the motors, the capacitor, everything is there. It only has so much life expectancy in it. So the cooler the attic, the more efficient the house becomes. So we always look at that. So we're going to look at your soffit vents. We do a free attic analysis. We're going to look at your soffit vents, the exhaust ventilation on the upper part of the attic. How many air exchanges per hour are we getting in the attic? Then we're also going to look at your insulation levels, see what the depth of the insulation is. And there can be variables, but we try to get like an average and say, well, the average up here is 8 inches. We need to be a 14-inch depth kind of consistently throughout. So we're going to do a 6-inch ad, would bring you to an R38. And we actually have a special that we brought to the show today on that. And then we also look at the attic ladder itself, the access to the attic. That is a big breach, and a lot of people kind of forget about the ladder itself. That needs to be insulated and stop air movement from the hot and cold attic to the conditioned space of your house. And that can help with less dust in the house. Air conditioners last longer. Your filters stay
Keeps
cleaner.
the rats out of the house.
Yeah,
it could.
Yeah,
it
could. A lot of even if you've had bugs up in the attic, spiders, roaches, and stuff. So it seals that door off. So it has a lot of more value than just insulating it, but it insulates it, stops drafts. That's why I call it the draft master, because it actually stops that air movement, because those doors that access the attic, they don't seal worth a hoot. I mean, a lot of times you can actually see up in the attic. If the light's on, you can see it from inside the house. You look up in the attic.
Yeah, unacceptable.
It's terrible, the gaps that are there. So that's part of our package with the insulation is the draft master.
Something else you can help out with while you're sealing the attic stairway is, people who have can lights and so forth. There are ways to make sure that they're safely covered. There's a number of products and techniques as well. So I was thinking, as you're looking up into the attic stairway, if you can see light, if you can also see light when your can lights are off, but your lights in the attic are on, that happens too. There's actually just a clear shot, a huge potential loss through the can lights. I didn't bring you in to talk about that. I brought you in to talk about the fantastic deals that you've brought here to my radio show. Before I get into that, though, I'm giving out the phone number. For most of you who have heard me here before, you know I bring the expert guest in. I have a deal, but there's only so many of the deal that they offer. Today we have 6. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Tom the Attic Fanatic from Koala. Here's his phone number. Write it down now, because you're going to need the phone number. Actually, plug it into your phone. I'll tell you when to call. 281-677-3080. Don't call yet. Put it in the phone. 281-677-3080. Let's talk about the 6-inch ad.
Yes, so we do a 6-inch ad. Is that kind of a typical ad? What that reason we do that is if you have about 6 to 8 inches of insulation in the attic now, and that's kind of prior to 2002 as an R19, we're going to add 6 inches, and that'll bring you up to the code an R38. That's what the Energy Department recommends. So we find that that's a good kind of example, good special that we can run. If you need 8 or 10 inches, we can do that. It's not a lot more expensive, because really at that point you're just paying for the insulation. We're already there, so the labor is not anymore. It's just a few more, couple dollars for the whole house. It's not much, a couple cents per square foot to add more. So if you're doing the special 6-inch ad, but that really gets people kind of close. You may need a little plus or minus that. But when we do the attic analysis, we'll actually measure the depth of the insulation and then the footprint of the attic. So we can get you the exact price. On the radio, we like to kind of talk about like 1,000 square feet, because it's easy to kind of digest that. 'Cause, every attic's a little bit different, but this way you get an idea on the price point. Because some people will say, well, what's this going to cost me? $10,000, $20,000? I mean, they don't know. And it's generally, more around $1,000 or less. I mean, it's not real expensive.
It's a lot less than people think.
It always is. Everybody always says, well, that's less than I thought. We hear that all the time.
It can start for under $1,000, and a $3,000 job could be a significant improvement in your home.
Oh, yeah, that's a big job. So, yeah, typically our average ticket's only maybe $2,200, $2,300. That's maybe with insulation, maybe a solar fan, the stairway insulation, it's kind of the whole package. So
sure.
It's not real expensive. But what we try to look at is, will it pay for itself in, say, 2 years payback time? That's the key.
Don't call yet. 281-677-3080. Put it in your phone. I'll tell you when to call. 281-677-3080. Ordinarily $1.25 a square foot for a 6-inch ad that should bring you up to an R38, which is where you need to be. Today's sale price is only 99 cents. So if you have about 1,000 square feet in your attic, it's only $990 for a 6-inch ad of blown-in insulation. Tom, the Attic Fanatic from Koala, is throwing in the Draft Master. It's an attic stairway insulator, and it's valued at $299, and he's going to install it and deliver it for free.
Yes, we actually have 13 sizes, though, so we'll actually measure your attic ladder or the actual opening of that. Could be a hatchway that goes up. It may not even be a ladder. Could be a walk-in door. All kinds of scenarios. We have, like I said, we have 13 sizes, so when we come out to do the attic analysis, we'll get the measurement on that, so we make sure we get you the right one, because it's critical. You want to have the right, we don't want to put what do they call it, a square box into a round hole.
Or a round hole, yes.
Exactly. So we want it to fit right. That's the idea. So we'll get the measurement. We'll get you the right one. So we're going to do a first-class job.
281-677-3080. Don't call yet. Only 6 of you will get this. We're about to open the phone lines. 281-677-3080. Ordinarily $1.25 a square foot. On sale now for 99 cents. So if you have a 2,000 square foot house and it's 2 stories, it's about 1,000 square feet in your attic. Ordinarily $1,250. Today only $990. That's crazy great. You'll also get what I have in my stairway. It is an attic stairway insulator called the DraftMaster. Ordinarily $299 installed. Tom, the Attic Fanatic, is giving it away free. That is a huge value.
Yeah, that comes with the insulation. So it's about a $1,550 package for $990 with, based on 1,000 square feet. So, I mean, it really is a great value.
We're going to open up the phone lines in just a few moments. 281-677-3080. Only 6 of you will get it. All right, so make sure it's dialed into your phone. 281-677-3080. No cheating.
No cheating.
Yeah.
Well, how are they going to cheat?
If they dial before we tell them to dial, they'll help to get
okay.
the back of the line. 281-677-3080. Okay, we are opening up the phone lines now. Call now. 281-677-3080. You get a free attic analysis on top of it, so there is no obligation.
Yeah, that's the first thing we'll start with. We'll come out, we'll look at your attic. We're going to measure the insulation. We're going to look at the soffit venting. We're going to look at ductwork, see if there's any breaches or anything obvious that we're seeing up there that maybe is something we don't even do. But it's like, well, we need to let you know that there's an issue here. But we're going to look at like I said, the soffit vents, the attic ventilation on the roof side, pulling the heat out, see if you need maybe a solar attic fan or two, kind of give you a whole analysis and what's going to really benefit the house and what's going to make it more efficient, more comfortable.
A great deal. Not $125 a square foot, only 99 cents. The free attic stairway insulator worth $299. A free attic analysis, no obligation. Put your credit card away, put your checkbook away, but call now. Only 6 of you will get this. 281-677-3080. That's 281-677-3080. If you didn't get the number, we'll be mentioning it during the break, and Tom and I will be right back right after this here on the Check A Pro Radio Show. Stand by.
Are your electric bills high? Do you have hot spots in your home? Then call Koala Insulation now for a free attic inspection. Call 281-677-3080. 281-677-3080.
Koala Insulation.
Don't have your new $25 VIP gift card yet? Get it now, free at checkapro.com.
Hi friends, Check A Pro Joe here. Are you tired of spending so much money on your utility bills? Is your home comfortable, or do you feel all the drafts in your home? Well, I have a quick economical solution. What is it, you ask? Koala Insulation. Yes, Koala Insulation is a premier home insulation company focused on being prompt, knowledgeable, and trustworthy. Call now for a free attic inspection. Call 281-677-3080. That's 281-677-3080.
Missed part of today's radio show? No problem. Go to checkapro.com to hear the podcast of all our radio programs. Checkapro.com.
Check A Pro Joe and Tom the Attic Fanatic will be right back with more solutions to reduce your energy bills and make your home more comfortable here on the Check A Pro Radio Show.
Check A Pro Joe here. My friend Russell Metzler is the owner of Gas Product Services. You've heard Russell on my radio show. With 3 decades of experience in gas products, Russell from Gas Product Services is your guy. Gas Product Services sells, services, and installs gas grills, gas lights, gas logs, and all types of outdoor recreational gas products. If you want to build an outdoor kitchen or backyard fire feature, Gas Product Services can do that as well. They service all brands of gas grills, lights, and logs, as well as direct vent fireplaces. They can help you select the right products for your backyard project, and they service a broad area from the Bay Area to Conroe. In the fall months, schedules fill up fast, so call today for an annual servicing of your fireplace or other gas products. Go to their website at gasproductservices.com or check them out at checkapro.com. Be sure to ask for your $25 Check A Pro VIP Club discount. Call Russell today at Gas Product Services, 281-408-4154. That's 281-408-4154.
This is the Checka Pro Radio Show, sponsored by CheckaPro.com. What are the latest services, products, and techniques? The pros check in here. Here's your host, the man with a hard hat and tool belt, Checka Pro Joe.
One thing you can count on here in Houston, Texas is the heat and the humidity, and I am here to help you. I round up the best people all year round, depending upon what time of year it is, to make sure that your home is healthy and you're comfortable and you're saving money. We had a huge freeze this winter. I rounded up the right people then, had plumbers on and swimming pool professionals and so forth. Well, guess what? I heard a forecast. It's going to be over 80 degrees this summer here in Houston, and the humidity level is going to be a little bit north of 35%. That's what I've heard. Tom, the Attic Fanatic's not so sure if it's going to be higher than 35% humidity this summer, but I think it will be. That means we need to have a comfortable home. It all starts in the attic.
It all starts in the attic, and it's all about attic temperature. That's kind of the two things. You have to have control of your attic temperatures. If you have attic temperatures reaching 130 to, I've seen up to 170 degrees of heat, there's no way insulation can hold that much heat back. It's not designed to do that. It's just way too much heat. So you need to lower the attic temperatures. So you need I always say you need good insulation and good ventilation. You don't necessarily need to have 4 feet of insulation and then terrible ventilation. Maybe we go with 12, 14 inches of insulation, what it's actually called for, and then get the attic temperatures in check and keep the humidity level in check in the attic, and then you have a much better mix. So we look at attic temperatures. To me, that's number one. That's one of my favorite things to look at, because there's not really, nobody specializes in attic temperatures and attic ventilation like we do. We're really into attic ventilation, and I've been doing this for 15 years, and we really know attic ventilation. It's kind of a specialty market. It's people don't understand it. Some people say, oh yeah, just go up there and put some ventilation in or put a fan in. It's like, well, where are you putting it? And why are you putting it over there? There's a lot of science to this. How many soffit vents do we need to work to make this thing work correctly? Do we put the fan on the south side, the north side, the east side? What are we doing? Are gable fans better? So that's why we come out. We do an attic analysis. We'll give you, where everything should go, what it should look like. How many fans do you need? Do you need one? We have 3 sizes of fans. Do you need a 25 watt, a 30 watt, a 70 watt fan? There's different variables, and everything is not for everybody. So we have to look at each house individually and see which way to go. 30 watt probably is kind of in the middle. That's where we mostly go. But the last couple of weeks, we've been doing a ton of the 70 watt fans. That's our number one seller the last couple of weeks.
What do you call that? The
Beast.
The Beast.
It's a 70 watt solar attic fan, moves 3,850 CFM of air. It's got a 19-inch blade on it. Nothing moves more air than this fan. It's it's our specialty kind of fan. It weighs 51 pounds. It's an appliance. It's serious. This is not a toy. And that's the first thing people I used to first got into the business 15 years ago, and people like, oh, solar fans, they're no good, or you don't need all this. And like, well, you're right, they aren't any good 15 years ago. Now they're fantastic. It's just like electric cars 15 years ago, and they were no good. Now it's like, well, there's a lot of stuff out there. There's a lot of good stuff. It's totally changed. And so it's really about being green, but also saving money on your energy bills, reducing your carbon footprint. There's a lot of things. And I will say, having a super hot attic, it's almost criminal, because it's nearly not right for you to be wasting $100 or $150 worth of energy every month on your house just because you didn't want to address the attic temperatures. It could be fixed so easily. But a lot of people, I don't blame it on anybody. It's just people don't understand this can easily be fixed. We can do it in a few hours and get it taken care of.
It's about to get real hot here in Houston. I want to thank you, Tom, Ben, and Tyler, the group here in Houston with Koala Insulation. Thank you for coming into the studio, offering up in an easy, explainable way to our listeners why they have a hot attic, what the ramifications are of having a hot attic, and how to remedy the hot attic. So thank you for that. I'm going to give out the phone number, but don't dial yet. So just put it in your phone, everybody. If you just tuned in, you missed the first 3 deals, and there were only 6 in the show. So it went fast. 281-677-3080. Just put that in your phone. I'll tell you when to dial. 281-677-3080. Because we're going to talk about 2 different deals. We're going to go over the attic insulation deal, and then we're going to talk about the solar attic fan deal. So quickly here, we're going to quickly go through, because we already did this in the first segment, the huge deal on blown-in insulation, a 6-inch ad. of a blown-in insulation, standard stuff. This stuff you can even put in hospitals and daycare and so forth. It's a great product.
Yeah, it's Green Guard, what they call Green Guard certified. Yeah, you can put it at schools, daycares, hospitals, nursing homes, super clean. And you can put this over your existing insulation as well, and it keeps the old stuff from getting airborne, so you're not breathing it. It really cleans up the environment of a home.
Regular price, only $1.25 a square foot. So if you have about 1,000 square feet in your attic, which is typical of a 2,000 square foot house that has 2 floors, with a 6-inch ad, that's about $1,250. Today on the show, only $990. It's only 99 cents a square foot. And Tom from Koala Insulation is throwing in a free attic stairway insulator called the Draft Master. I've got one of those in my home. I love it. That's worth $299. All right, and you're going to get that free. So if you want that deal, we've got a few of those left, and I'm going to open up the phone lines now officially. Call now. Only 3 of these left. Oh my gosh, they went quick. 281-677-3080. Call now. 281-677-3080. Solar Attic fan. We talked about that a few moments ago. It's a great product. I've got one of those. Love it.
Yep.
You've got different sizes.
Right.
For different needs, and you can even put more than one fan. So if someone's got a really big attic that has a real problem with heat, you could literally put in 3 or 4 of the 70 watts, and that's a big attic.
Yeah, we've had some houses, 8,000, 10,000 square feet. And then they may need 3 or 4 fans. A typical house, say a 2,000 square foot single story, you could maybe do 170 watt fan. You could we'll have to look at the roof configuration. It may make sense to put a 25 watt over the master bedroom in a little lower price point, and then maybe a 30 watt over the living area and kitchen, depending how the roof is set up.
Yeah.
So, or maybe 230s, or maybe just 130. Maybe the ventilation that you have is decent, but it just needs a little, I call it a turbocharger, a boost for your attic. So there's different configurations, but we do have $300 off of each fan. So no matter if you're getting the 25, the 30, or the 70, you're still getting. We're still doing a radio show discount on all of those. So we can still make it work, and you get the 26% tax credit on any of our solar attic fans. They all qualify for the federal energy tax credit. So depending on the size of the attic space, it's going to depend on the size of the fan you're going to need.
Let's talk about the 30-watt solar fan in terms of pricing. It's $1,095. $200 radio show deal today. The Check A Pro radio show discounts $200. It brings it down to $895, and I don't say net. That's halfway to net, because the federal government is giving away a federal energy tax credit of 26% on that, which is $233. In the end, everybody, you're only paying $662.
Yeah, that's not bad. If you look at the overall payback, people will say, well, is it going to take 10 years for this to pay for itself? Some people say it pays for itself for the first day because the house is so much more comfortable. And to some people, that's everything. I just want to be more comfortable. I'm sick of putting the air conditioner on 72, and it's been running all day. I come home at 78 degrees in the house in the middle of summer. That's not acceptable. So when we lower the attic temperature, you put it on 72, you come home from work, it's 72 degrees in the house. I mean, it makes a huge difference on that. But if you just look at energy savings, less than usually about 2 years or less. So depending on how bad the ventilation is, it's a quick payback. 2 years is not a big deal as far as energy savings, and it completely pays for itself because it's a lifetime product.
Well, I was going to say, not only is it the savings in short term, you're also adding value to the house. You're putting an investment in the home, and while you're there, you're more comfortable. And on top of that, so is your air conditioning system. And on top of that, maybe the duct system is working better, so you may have less mildew and mold potentially, right? There's so many reasons why you do it. It's kind of like when a doctor says, you know what, go for a walk. Go for a walk with your spouse. There's a few benefits. Number one, you get to spend time with a family member.
Right.
Number two, you get to see the birds fly and wave to neighbors. That's a benefit. At the same time, you're going to feel good mentally because the endorphins are going to move, and your heart will get a workout.
And it's good exercise.
So it's all these different, it's not just the exercise, it's everything else that comes with it.
Exactly. Yep. So the ductwork, so if your attic, the closer your attic temperature is to the cool area inside the ductwork, the less condensation that will form in the ductwork or on the ductwork, so less chance of mold and things. Air conditioner is going to run less, so the mechanicals of the air conditioner, the motors and things are going to last longer. The roof can last longer. The price point of the house, if you go on a resale, everybody wants an efficient home. You do get the tax credit, so there's a lot of benefits to the solar attic ventilation. That it's not just lowering the energy costs. It's really, to me, it's all about comfort. if you can't be comfortable, it doesn't really matter if you're saving $50 a month. Okay, great, and we can go out to dinner once an extra time a month or something. That's good, but if you're comfortable every day in your home, that's huge, and that's what you're really striving for.
Tom, you're doing a great job today, and the reason why I know that is there's only 2 of these deals left, which means you've obviously done a good job conveying the message. No, when you're on the air, certain times when you come on, people understand quicker and they respond faster. I'm saying it's you. I'm not saying it's the weather or the traffic patterns out there in Houston today. I'm saying it's all you. I'm giving you some credit.
Okay, I appreciate that. I like that.
Okay, so there's only a couple of these left. Call now, 281-677-3080. 2 deals here. Insulation, not $1.25 a square foot, only 99 cents for a 6-inch ad with a free attic stairway insulator valued at $299. It's a fantastic deal. Also, the solar attic fan. And by the way, Tom the Attic Fanatic came out and put in a solar attic fan, put in insulation, and the Draft Master.
Yeah,
I got it all.
Yeah, we did the 30 watt.
Yep.
Yes.
The 30
So
watt.
it's actually the one we're talking about.
Exactly. The regular price is $10.95. Special price $8.95 because the Check A Pro Radio Show discount today is $200. And I'm good at math. $10.95 minus $200 is $8.95. Oh, Mrs. Smith would be happy, my 5th grade math teacher.
Oh, yes.
Okay, only $8.95. A 26% federal energy tax credit valued at $233. It's easy to do. You take 26%, 0.26, and you multiply it by the $8.95.
Right.
Okay. Now, if you want to pay more and buy from someone else, you'll get a bigger federal tax credit, but it's not going to be good.
More money up front.
I'm just saying it's a variable number. So it's 26% of the $8.95. It nets down to $662.
Yeah, and that goes with it. If you bought, say you needed 2 fans, you're still going to get 26% of whatever the overall cost of that is. Mm-hmm. So there's no like upper limit. You can't say, well, you can just get 1 fan. If you need to, you're going to get the tax credit on both.
Oh, the government has bottomless pockets.
They seem to, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, I wish I had pockets like that.
Oh, in 2021, they gave away more money to people than they ever have.
Than they bring in. It's crazy. Yeah.
It was in the millions. The bill, no, it was in the trillions.
I tried to put that in a calculator. Do I have enough zeros here?
No, I get the E on my calculator. It's too far out. Trillions. And I say more than ever because you got to figure for decades, Social Security and all the social programs were there. Well, they were still here this year, plus all that.
Plus on top. Right?
Oh, my gosh. 281-677-3080. My friend and my guest here today, Tom the Attic Fanatic from Koala. Call now. There's only a few of these left. 281-677-3080. I'm going to shake Tom upside down by his ankles because we're running out of deals, but we still have a lot of show left.
Oh, no. Here we go again.
Yeah, you assume the position. We'll be back right after this right here on Check A Pro Radio. Stand by.
Missed part of today's radio show? No problem. Go to checkapro.com to hear the podcast of all our radio programs. Checkapro.com.
Is your house cold? Are your electric bills high? Did you answer yes to either question? Then call Koala Insulation at 281-677-3080. Koala Insulation focuses on you, the homeowner. With a clean, prompt, knowledgeable, and trusted team here in Houston, Koala Insulation is here to help. Get a free DraftMaster attic stairway insulator, a value of $299, with the purchase of either attic insulation or a solar attic fan. Be one of the first 6 callers to get in on the insulation and solar attic fan deal. Call now, 281-677-3080. That's 281-677-3080. Don't spend another minute in your uncomfortable home or another dime on high utility bills. Koala Insulation is a pre-qualified home service provider at Check A Pro. Call now to be more comfortable and to save money. 281-677-3080. That's 281-677-3080. Oh, and don't forget to ask for your free attic stairway insulator. Enjoy comfort and save money. Call Koala Insulation today.
This is the Check A Pro Radio Show.
Hello?
Hi, honey. I love our new home, but it needs work.
No problem. Just go to checkapro.com. Look up what you need by category. This site pre-qualifies service providers.
Pre-qualifies?
Yeah, Checkapro checks references on all its members.
Okay, let's see. Home remodeling, roofers, garage door repair, and landscapers. Oh, look, I can email the companies right from their profile. That must be Check A Pro.
From AC repair to window replacement, Checkapro is your source for pre-qualified service providers.
This is the Checka Pro Radio Show, sponsored by CheckaPro.com. What are the latest services, products, and techniques? The pros check in here. Here's your host, the man with a hard hat and tool belt, Checka Pro Joe.
I have never seen this before. The amount of interest today with Tom, the attic fanatic from Koala. The phone lines have been busy. 281-677-3080 is the phone number, 281-677-3080. I've been told in the past that I don't give the phone number out enough, and then when I do, I go too fast, they tell me, Tom, the attic fanatic. So I will go slow and precise, and I will enunciate the best I possibly can. Do you notice how I move my mouth like that?
I see that. Yeah.
I learned that in broadcast
You know
school.
what the problem is? That if they're flying down the freeway at 120 miles an hour, they're trying to put... Oh, no, that's me. No,
Yeah.
no, I don't do that.
Well, you can talk into your phone now. You can tell it what to dial. Okay, here we go. 281-677-3080. One more time, 281-677-3080. That's the phone number for Koala. All right, you're assumed the position. I've got you upside down, shaking you by the ankles.
Jesus, this is crazy.
The nickels and dimes and pennies are falling out of your pants because we need to give out more deals. They're all gone. What can you do? We gave away 6.
I guess we'll do 6 more because we need to do the attic analysis. Let's do 6 more because we're only halfway through the show.
I know. Well, I guess we could shut the show down and play music.
Oh, no. Nobody wants to hear it. I'm sick of music. They want to hear us.
Well, okay.
They're like, yeah,
Tom the
change
Attic
channel.
Fanatic. That's right. Okay. 281-677-3080. How about a free attic analysis, everybody? No obligation. Tom or someone from his crew, it could be Ben or Tyler, and probably Ben or Tyler will be answering the phone today. I think one of them is answering the phone. I'm not sure which one.
I think Ben's, I think it's
Okay.
Ben. Yep.
Okay, answering the phone today. They will help you out. Ask for the free attic analysis. There is no obligation. You can put your credit card away, put your checkbook away, all of that.
Right.
Someone from Koala, right, Tom, back me up on this, is going to come out absolutely free to do a free attic analysis. What do you guys do when you do the analysis?
So call, we'll book it, we'll get you set up, and it usually takes about 30, 45 minutes. I get that question a lot, like, how long is this going to take? Is it a 4-hour deal? Like, no. We'll go up and take a look at your attic. We're going to look at the depth of the insulation, what kind of insulation you have. Recommend if you need any more insulation, then we'll get a measurement on the footprint of it so we can get you an exact price. So when we give a quote out, the price doesn't change. So when we come to do the job, the price isn't different later. But we'll also look at the ventilation, the intake, the soffit venting. We're going to look at the exhaust side of the ventilation. We're going to measure your attic ladders because if you're getting insulation, we're going to give you a free stairway insulator. So we're going to do all that while we're there, answer any questions that you have, any concerns. And if you like it, we'll get you scheduled and we'll get it taken care of. And, usually it varies depending on the project, but a week, 2 weeks kind of out. And sometimes we can move stuff around. So we always say we'll make that work. But the first thing is let's get the attic analysis. And usually we can do that within the first, we'll get it done this coming week for you.
It's not just the heat and the humidity. Remember, in February, there was a storm that none of us have ever lived through in Houston. None of us.
No.
No one breathing have lived through that. You go back maybe generations, and there might be someone who said, oh, yeah, back when I had my grass hut, it got kind of cold, but their indoor plumbing didn't freeze. You know why? Because they didn't have it.
They didn't have any indoor plumbing.
So some of you had some floods in your attic. If you have not addressed that yet, you need to. That attic insulation and the sheetrock and all that's going to turn to mold. If you haven't done anything, it's at least at mildew stage. Very dangerous. Koala Insulation also does removals.
Yes, so we can remove that old insulation, especially if you had some bat insulation up there and it's got the...
Explain what the bat is so people will understand.
So that's kind of like it comes in the roll, so it's not like blown in through a hose, and you see a lot of that.
It's the pink stuff you see.
Generally pink,
typical.
yellow, or you could have rock wool. It's going to be like a really dark gray color. There's different types of insulation, but moisture can get trapped between that moisture barrier that's on that insulation, and it can. That's where if you get your hand up under it, it can still be wet. If that's the case, then you got mold and stuff growing in there. That all needs to be removed. So that's something we can do as part of the attic analysis. We'll take a look at those areas and see if it needs to be removed, or if it's dried out. If you just have like loose fill, blown in insulation, a lot of times that'll actually dry out and you'll be okay. But it doesn't at least need to be looked at to make sure that it's not an issue moving forward, because you don't want to have mold start growing, because once it starts growing, it just kind of keeps spreading and going and going. So you want to kind of nip that in the bud while we're up there looking at it.
I'm giving out the phone number right now. Put it in your phone, but don't dial it. I'll tell you when. In a few moments, I'll have you dial 281-677-3080, 281-677-3080. Why are you doing this? Because you are calling Tom the Attic Fanatic at Koala here in Houston to get a free attic analysis. No strings attached. There's no heavy, hard sell. You don't need your checkbook or your credit card. There is no obligation to buy. There's no tricks here. No tricks. 281-677-3080. Put it in your phone. Don't dial yet, though. I'm going to give you the rundown. Free attic analysis. There's also a free attic stairway insulator if you need insulation. It's only 99 cents a square foot, ordinarily $1.25. It's a special deal that Koala brought to the show for a 6-inch ad to bring you up to where you need to be. R38Ys. If you're still a little short because you only have an inch now and you're only at 7 inches, they'll have to bring it up higher, and the cost is accordingly, but it's not going to cost that much. They're already out there doing it. So it's only 99 cents for a 6-inch ad with a free attic stairway insulator. Solar attic fan. This is another deal. We're going to talk about this as well right now. Ordinarily $1,095. $200 off, which is a Check a Pro radio show discount. $895 is what it nets down to before Uncle Sam gives you another $233 because there's a 26% federal energy tax credit. When you get that, it nets down to $662, only $662. I have the solar attic fan in my attic. I have blown-in insulation from Tom the Attic Fanatic, and I have the stairway insulator, the Draft Master. I've got it all. I'm going to give out the number, and then I'm going to tell you when to press call. 281. Send. It all has to be timed right. Operators are standing by. Ben and Tyler. Operators are standing by. 281-677-3080. 281-677-3080. You can call right now. Press the call button, the green button, whatever you have on your phone. Send. 281-677-3080. Only 6 of you will get this, and they're going to go now. Call now, 281-677-3080.
Yeah, I was going to make one other comment on the that wet insulation from the flooding and all that. And we found that a lot of houses that had really good attic ventilation, or that we've done in the past, because we had some of our existing customers that we've insulated their house or put fans in if they had a broken pipe. They have an issue. But we didn't get too much of that because most of our customers, all the piping was underneath the insulation. So we didn't really hear much of that. We had a couple customers that had a couple squirrely pipes that were just crazy and they broke. But anyways, with the attic ventilation, with the solar attic fan, with the humidity sensor and the temperature sensor, even though it got wet, it's helping dry things out. So it's keeping some air movement in the attic. So now if it got soaked, the insulation got completely soaked, and of course that area needs to be removed. But you still want to keep some air movement over that and keep that attic dry. The other reason you keep your attic dry is that when you have a lot of humidity in the attic, it absorbs into the insulation, and then the insulation over time kind of settles. And that's why you might have bought a house 10 years ago and you had, say, 12 inches of insulation. Now you go up there and now there's only like 6 or 8. Where did it go? Well, it didn't really go anywhere. It's actually kind of collapsing on itself because of the weight. So it's crushing itself. And then when you start doing that, you start losing the air pockets, and you need that depth. So even if you had 12 inches of insulation, if you push it down to 6 inches of insulation, basically it's only half as good. It needs to have all those air pockets in there. So that's why you don't want to trample your insulation, and you want to keep the insulation dry so it doesn't, over time, kind of collapse on itself. Insulation and ventilation, they really, really do go hand in hand. They both need to be good. You need to make sure that attic is staying dry, and especially in Houston, you want to keep it as dry as you possibly can.
I want to keep it fluffy. It reminds me of when I was a kid growing up in the north. If you have a snowfall, that's 18 inches. 1.5 foot snowfall is pretty good. You go outside, it's really going to absorb a lot of sound, that 1.5 feet. But when it gets warmer and it shrinks because it's melted and now it's ice, even if it's 6 inches of ice, well, of course, that's going to reflect the sound.
Right, it's not absorbing.
So it's different. It's not as fluffy. So same thing with a pillow. You want to fluff it up. It becomes hard. It's just not as effective, and it's just harder to sleep on a really hard pillow.
Exactly. Yep. The insulation. So you want to take care of the insulation. You want to keep the moisture out of it. For that reason, of course, you don't want to have moisture in anything because then mold can grow. I mean, it's a dark, hot, humid environment. That's where mold grows. It loves that. So you want to keep it as dry as you can in the attic. And that's why we have a humidity sensor on our solar attic fans. We'll come out, like I said, we'll make sure how many fans do you need? Do you need 1 or 2? A lot of houses, I mean, I'd say typically only 1 fan, but once in a while, 2, even 3 fans, depending on if they say, well, I want this to be as good as possible. I'm going to live in this house for the next 30 years. I want it to really be right. Then we'll look at maybe doing an extra fan or something like that.
It's not too late. Call now, 281-677-3080. Koala Insulation is the name of the company. Tom the Attic Fanatic is my guest. You will save money on your attic insulation today, on the solar attic fan. You'll get a free, no-obligation attic analysis. It just goes on and on and on. Put away your credit card and your checkbook. Call now, 281-677-3080. That's 281-677-3080. We've got one segment left. I'll be back with Tom the Attic Fanatic right here on the Checker Pro Radio Show. Stand by.
Are your electric bills high? Do you have hot spots in your home? Then call Koala Insulation now for a free attic inspection. Call 281-677-3080. 281-677-3080.
Koala Insulation.
Do you have a question for Check-A-Pro Joe? Email Joe at joe@checkapro.com.
Hey, Houston, if you own a home, you need to check out the Check-A-Pro VIP Club Card from checkapro.com. For the past 12 years, Check-A-Pro has been the choice of Houstonians to find local professionals from AC repair, handymen, electricians, roofers, and more. And if you become a Check-A-Pro VIP Club member, you'll get the VIP treatment from every Check-A-Pro service provider. With over 100 local pre-qualified home service providers serving you at checkapro.com, you have access to Houston's best contractors, and your home improvement project will be their #1 priority. As a VIP club member, you move right to the top of their list and receive the VIP treatment you deserve. Plus, club members save $25 on services provided by Check-A-Pro vendors when you show them your VIP card. Just go to checkapro.com to sign up. And for a limited time, your lifetime membership is free. That's right, free. Log on to checkapro.com to get your free VIP card now. That's checkapro.com.
This is Sebastian Gorka. If you're looking for a quality home service provider, log on to checkapro.com. That's checkapro.com.
I'm taking what they're giving because I'm working for a living.
This is the Check-A-Pro Radio Show, sponsored by checkapro.com. To find pre-qualified local service providers, click on checkapro.com. Here's your host, the man with a hard hat and tool belt, Check-A-Pro Joe.
And back in the Check-A-Pro Radio Show studios, I'm Check-A-Pro Joe. The history with me is, well, I've been here for 15 years helping you find pre-qualified home service providers. I check insurance, licenses, and references on all of our pre-qualified contractors. Tom the Attic Fanatic, I've known him for a long time. He's with Koala Insulation. He is here in the studio educating us on attic insulation, ventilation, the whole envelope. It all works together. You just can't do one thing. If you have a really hot house and you never go to your attic, you can't say, well, I'm just going to get new windows. Or no, I'm going to leave the old windows. I'm just going to get a new AC system. You know where you need to start? Upstairs.
In the attic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Start there first and then work down.
That's true. We get a lot of houses, especially something that was maybe built in the 70s, 80s, even 90s, where they had single-pane windows, an inefficient air conditioning system, poor insulation, poor ventilation, and some people, maybe they just bought the house, like, where do I start? I'm like, start in the attic. I mean, that's easy. It's not expensive. You can get it taken care of, and you can get a lot of energy savings. You know, maybe the windows need replaced because they're single pane and they're just not very efficient, but you can really get just about probably even more savings and more comfort by doing the attic than you can really doing the windows. Because windows, I mean, you can spend, if you kind of picture a window, $400 to $1,000 for that one window. For $1,000, you could have really took care of an attic. And that's going to be 1,000 square feet of insulation versus this one little window. Like, how much energy are you going to lose for this one window versus the whole attic?
That's a good point.
Well,
and
that's why the savings are so much better on the attic side.
When it comes to the solar attic fan, I don't know if the government's giving away 26% back on windows.
Nothing.
Are they?
No,
they're not.
There's no federal energy tax credit. Well, that's because they know that the solar ventilation and solar panels really do reduce the energy load on the grid, and the carbon footprint is reduced. It just makes a lot of sense. That's why they're putting some money behind it. If course, they'll put. I'm not going to say that's why they're putting. Maybe that's not the only reason. They'll put money behind a lot of things, but it does make a lot of sense.
There's some political things. You don't know what's going on behind closed doors, and you don't want to ask. He may disappear.
Exactly, but we don't get reimbursed from the government. I mean, that's for the homeowner, the 26%. So if it's for easy math, if it's $1,000, it's maybe you bought a couple fans. Maybe you spent $2,000 on some fans, and I mean the whole package. I mean, that 26% rate really adds up. So the federal energy tax credit is huge. So we have a 25-watt fan, a 30-watt fan, and a 70-watt fan, depending on the size of the attic space. And it's not just the space; it's the volume. So it's the height of the roof, the ceiling inside there. For what's the distance between the ceiling and the roof? Is it 8 feet? Is it 10, 20 feet? Some of these attics have just a tremendous amount of volume.
A lot of cubic space.
A lot of cubic. So that everything is CFM. That's if you hear that 1,300 CFM or 1,500. That's cubic feet of air per minute. So we want to get 4 to 6 air exchanges per hour. So we're going to come out. We're going to measure the attic, get the cubic feet of the attic, and we're going to figure out how many solar fans or what size fan we need. We may just move you from a 30-watt to a 70. You still only getting one fan. But we just maybe need to do a bigger fan. Or maybe you're like, well, this is only an 800 square foot attic. The 25-watt fan is going to work great. So just depending on the size of the attic. So that's part of the attic analysis, and that's really where it starts, and that's what you're calling for. You need to do the attic analysis first, and we'll go from there.
I'm going to give out Tom the Attic Fanatic's phone number. Don't call, though, until I tell you. Put it in your phone, though, 281-677-3080, 281-677-3080. Just in a few moments, I'd like you to call for the last 3 that are available. That means we will have gone through, when the last 3 go, 12.
12. Oh, that's a big.
Yeah, we've gone through 9.
Yeah, that's it. 'Cause we can't get out to more than that. I mean, we're already getting busy. So.
Yep. So I'm going to recap both deals here. Okay, Tom?
All right. Sounds good.
So ordinarily, you charge $1.25 a square foot for a 6-inch ad of blown-in insulation. Is that true?
That is correct and true.
And you brought a deal today, only 99 cents. Is that true?
Yes. I feel like I'm on the stand. I've never been on the stand, but I think I've seen enough shows.
Do you swear to tell the truth,
I
the
do.
whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Would
Exactly.
you please hook him up to the lie detector and let's... Yep. So far, he's truthful.
I'm doing good. Okay, great.
Truthful. Not $1.25, only 99 cents. And you're going to give away the attic stairway insulator for free, which is the Draft Master.
Yes.
That's worth $299, and you'll install it. All right. So, Tom, if someone has 1,000 square feet in the attic, and many people do, if they have a 2,000 square foot house and it's 2 stories, their attic's about 1,000 square feet. So let's just do that for
math's sake.
For
so
math's
you can get
sake.
a visual of this. Yeah.
Just a little bit of an exercise. 1,000 square feet. So it would normally cost $1,250. It's 1,000 times $1.25.
Right.
The Draft Master's $299. So that would be a total of $1,549. If we actually go back and do the math of what it's going to cost, for 1,000 square feet, same deal, same amount of square feet with the new deal, it's only $990. So you're looking at almost a $600 deal.
Yeah, that
almost
was awesome
$600
with that stairway insulator.
Like $550.
Yeah. And that's a stairway insulator, or like if you have a walk-in attic. So we have 13 sizes. We even have them for the full doors. So we'll take care of one of those entrances to the attic. Some attics have 2 accesses, and we'll talk about if you need to do the second one. If it's in the garage, then you just don't necessarily need to insulate that door. But if it's going into any conditioned space, you need to have that insulated.
Okay. I'm going to give out the phone number, but don't dial yet. 281-677-3080, because we're going to do the final. So you can call for either of these things. We're going to talk about the solar attic fan. Solar attic fan, regular price $1,095, a $200 radio show discount. It's only $895. Federal tax credit, the energy tax credit, 26%. Basically, it's going to net down after the tax credit to $662. $662. Only 3 of these in either combination. You can get it all if you want, or just one of them. Only 3 people will get this. 3 people. Call now, dial now, 281-677-3080. We've opened the phone lines. Let it loose, everybody. 281-677-3080.
No, that's a great deal. And you can get, so if you need a solar fan, or if you need 2, we'll give you, you get a deal on both of them. And if you need a 25 watt, we'll still give you the discount on that, or the 70 watt. So there's savings on all of them. We're not just saying the 30 watts the only way to go. That's just for kind of math here.
You've got a sale on all the fans.
On all the fans. So just depending on the size of your attic and what you need, and then we'll look at that. But the main thing is that for this attic analysis, that's what's so valuable, is because we're going to come out, and we've done I've done over 10,000 estimates on attics. We know what we're doing when we get there, so we're not going to steer you in the wrong direction and say, oh, I think you should do this. If we're saying, well, this is what kind of needs to be done in the attic, that's what needs to be done. We're not trying to sell you anything. We're trying to make sure that you're going to get the results that you were looking for, get that energy savings, get the house more comfortable. That's what we're there to do. We're not pushy salesmen by any means. We don't try to sell anything. We're trying to be more of an educator and help the customer make the right decision. We're really about volume and referrals and things like that. So that's kind of our concept. Do it right the first time. We get lots of referrals, and that's kind of our brand, and that's how we do things.
281-677-3080, 281-677-3080. And that's going to be it for the deals today. There's still a couple left, but it's going down. 281-677-3080. Ben and Tyler are manning the phones. And what's nice is when they answer the phone, they actually say, thank you for calling Koala Insulation. This is Ben. Thank you for calling Koala Insulation. This is Tyler. So they actually present themselves well. So thanks for doing that.
Yeah, like I hate when you call a company and they're like, hello? You're like, what? Is this the right company? I hate that.
Or how about this? Oh,
geez.
Did I just wake you up? Huh?
I know.
Yeah. Oh, can I call you back? I'm with a customer. I'm in an attic.
Right. No, we don't do that. Very professional.
Yes, please.
We do it the right way.
281-677-3080. Tom the Attic Fanatic has been in attics for a very long time. He has a lot of experience.
I do come out of the attic. So when you say I've been in there a long time, I do come out. They do let me out of the attics. Could you imagine if you had to live in an attic? Oh, my goodness.
You need like a scuba system because it's so hot and sweaty, and the oxygen's pretty low after a while, I'd imagine.
It's like, oh, you thought you needed one fan? If I got to live up here, we're putting 2 or 3 in.
Oh, yeah. Well, while you're up there, put another one in. 281-677-3080. Tom, thank you so much for coming in today. I really appreciate it. I know that you don't like to have to put up with me. We've known each other for a long time, and I consider you not only an expert or the expert here in Houston on attics, but also a friend as well. So thank you for offering up these deals.
No problem. Yeah, that's what we're here for. We just want to make everybody more comfortable and more efficient and save some energy and save some money.
It's not too late, everybody. Phone lines are still open, 281-677-3080. Deals today on blown-in attic insulation and on the solar attic fan, on all 3 different ones. For a long time, there was an offering just on one fan. There's been such popularity over the years. Now there's 3 fan offerings.
Yeah, we have 3 sizes because we find that, one size doesn't maybe fit all. It fits, the 30-watt fits most. But with the 70-watt, that really can help with these bigger attics with like a hip roof. So basically where a hip roof is where it's all kind of coming up to one peak, and all that heat's kind of really up at the top. You put the 70-watt fan in there, and it can exhaust. I mean, we were in a house the other day. We did one. In 15 minutes, it dropped the temperature over 20 degrees in the attic. And really the solar fan's isn't the idea is to put it in there and it's going to drop the temperature immediately. The whole idea is it runs all day and it keeps temperature in check and doesn't let the temperature rise up. For it to drop it like that, that's amazing. And that's just kind of showing you that there's a lot of air volume. We're getting enough air exchanges per hour to keep those temperatures from rising. So to me, it's all about air temperature, attic temperature, if you will. The cooler the attic is, the more efficient the house becomes. The ductwork is going to last longer. Air conditioning is going to last longer. The roof can actually last longer. Certainly going to be more comfortable in the house. If you have a 2-story, the attic temperature is super, super critical because that second floor, you just can't keep it cool. So that's why attic ventilation, a lot of people, we get a lot of referrals from AC companies where the customer is calling the air conditioning company like, it won't keep up. The air conditioner never keeps up. And they're like, there's nothing wrong with the air conditioner. It's actually the attic temperature is the problem. So it's all about attic temperature.
Once again, Tom, thank you so much for spending time out of your busy day to talk to my listeners here on the Checker Pro Radio Show. Tom, the Attic Fanatic from Koala Insulation. His number, call him anytime, 281-677-3080, 281-677-3080. You can always go to checkerpro.com to check out Koala as well. They've been pre-qualified, and they're on my website at checkerpro.com. I will be talking to you all very soon again. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great and safe day.